Hello and welcome to my Game of the Year Awards for 2016. Entirely self-funded, no evil corporation backing, and because of that I think this is the purest Game of the Year Awards show on the internet. Before I begin, I just want to say that this Game of the Year awards that I'm giving out is going to be games that I like. It's my opinion that these games are the best of the year. You'd think I wouldn't need to say that, but there are a lot of really dumb people on the internet, so this Game of the Year opinion piece is my opinions only. Just to make it clear, okay? So, yeah, it's basically going to be 5 main games that I really enjoyed this year, and I'm gonna sprinkle in the middle of those 5 games another 5 games that I thought deserved sort of like an honorable mentions kind of thing, right? So let's just begin with the first award. The first award is the game that pumped me up so much that I wanted to go out and kick kittens award, and the winner of this award is Doom. First off, let me just clarify that I did not kick any kittens. No kittens were harmed in the playing of this game. So, Doom, a blood-pumping, adrenaline-rushing, first-person shooter that is both a throwback to old-school arena shooters with some modern sprinkling on top. Doom places heavy emphasis on movement, stay in one spot too long, and you're probably dead. So fights happen in pretty big arenas with some masterful level design. The level design in this game is so good. The design has a sense of verticality and it doesn't hinder your movement at all. And what they did was basically take a 10-hour single player campaign littered with secrets and secret areas to explore, put in epic boss fights, make your character feel weighty but at the same time very mobile, have extremely gory but satisfying melee finishers, while providing tools to players for making their own maps and campaigns, and constantly updating the multiplayer with more content. Recently they updated the multiplayer with AI bots, and you have what I consider the best first-person shooter in recent years. It is a masterclass in how to design a first-person shooter. When I did mention that I also really love the music, and I love that the music basically matches what you're doing when you're playing the game, and it's really awesome, and it's just a good soundtrack overall to just listen in the car as well, or just whenever you're doing something. It's really like freaking, I think it's good workout music as well. So the first honorable mentions award, the pretty damn good game, but I can't really recommend it at full price award. The winner is Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I just recently bought the game, I think a couple of weeks ago, and for like 66% off. And I think overall it's a really good game. I was really thinking of putting it in my top 5, but it just slipped the top 5, but I thought it deserved an honorable mention. It's a good action RPG, a first-person action RPG. There's some pretty good skills that can change your playstyles, and but the story just felt rushed and very short. Although I did have like 30 hours of gameplay, but that includes me going around and trying to find like all the secrets and all the secret passageways and stuff like that. So I think the story alone is just like 15 hours, and there's like 12 or 11 side quests, side missions to do. It just felt like it could have been more, and it definitely could have been more, but it's just, I don't know, it's a bit more disappointing. But luckily I bought it at 67% off, so at that price it's a no-brainer. It's a damn good game, but at $60, no way. Okay, so the next award is that came out pretty late in 2015, but also came out on 2 other platforms in 2016 award, so it kinda counts. Rise of the Tomb Raider, the sequel to 2013's Tomb Raider reboot, kept the best part of the first game and improving upon it. An action-adventure game with stealth elements and exploration. The level designs and the open area designs featured a lot of verticality, a lot of secret areas, an assortment of items to use against the enemy, letting you play different playstyles. It felt really rewarding when taking out enemies one by one using stealth. I also really love the open world type areas. While it's not totally an open world game, it gave a good amount of both freedom and linearity for it to not get stale. The platforming and puzzles, especially in the ruin type areas, were great. There was a sense of achievement, and the controls also felt really good. The great sense of progression with the level up system and the crafting mechanic that just added more to the experience. It does not hinder the enjoyment of the game. It had a great flow between action, stealth, exploration, puzzle platforming, and really good set pieces. Overall, an action-adventure game that seriously deserves to be called an action-adventure game. And my next honorable mention award is the game where you make fun of hipsters because it's low-hanging fruit. And the winner of that award is Watch Dogs 2. I thought Watch Dogs 2 was a really good game. Runs very well on PCs, which you can't say of the first game, so this game improved on that. But improved on a lot of other things. The game did not take itself too seriously. It was cheesy as all hell. It's quite funny at certain spots of the game. So it's much better than the first. Lighter, cheesier, less serious tone. I really love the stealth and hacking mechanics, especially the inclusion of the land and air drones. I thought that was a very good way to add variety to the gameplay. I used the land and air drones like majority of the time whenever I wanted to infiltrate an area. It's just really fun to use, but I did not enjoy the combat. I thought that the combat did not fit the games, did not fit the characters at all. Like, I can't really see this hipster hacker guys carrying assault rifles. It just doesn't match. I thought they could have taken out the combat and just maybe focus more on the stealth, gave maybe a few more gadgets or something like that, because it just didn't fit the theme at all. But overall, it's still a really good game. I highly recommend it. I probably got about 30 hours out of it. I got a bit bored and I thought it was kind of repetitive at about the 23-25 hour mark. And but the online multiplayer is pretty cool. You get to like stealth hack other players, and seeing them running around trying to find you it's just fun and it's funny to see. But yeah, I recommend it at about 33 to 50% off. I think that's a good price, but $60 I can't really recommend it at full price. So yeah, the next main award, the game that made me smile whenever I played that award, and the winner is Pokemon Sun and Moon, a great entry and a perfect game for your first Pokemon game, as well as enough differences and improvements that veterans of the series would also enjoy. It added a lot of quality of life updates to the usual formula. My two favorites were move effectiveness during battle and no more HMs. They replaced the HMs with right Pokemon. So the new features that were added also was a good distraction from time to time, and it didn't feel like it was in the way of playing the game. My favorites were Pokemon Refresh, which allows you to cure status effects outside of battle, so that's really cool, and the QR scanner, which lets you do an island scan to catch rare Pokemons. That is also very cool. The usual gym formula was also changed. Now each island has a few captains, and each captain has their own trial, which varies from captain to captain, and each island will have one kahuna that you have to beat. So traveling around the island to complete captain trials was a breath of fresh air to the usual gym formula, and I really like that. But I still fucking hate that SOS mechanic though. Nonetheless, it's a great entry to the Pokemon series, and it's perfect for both newcomers and veterans of the series. Yeah, I really fucking hate that SOS mechanic. But no matter how I feel about Pokemon games, whenever there's a new one that comes out, or if I play one that I never played before, it just fills me up with this like joy almost. I don't know why, but I thought, yeah, this game really did that for me as well. And my next honorable mention award is the game I wish I didn't try to the game I wish didn't try to compete against fucking Blizzard of all companies award, Battleborn. I bought Battleborn over Overwatch, and I know a lot of people think I'm crazy for that. It's just that I prefer because Overwatch is a game about, it's a team based, it's a team objective based shooter kind of thing, and Battleborn is a very MOBA centric kind of game, and I like having the ability to level up and all that stuff. And I did play the demo of both games. I enjoyed both demos, but I enjoyed the battle one a bit more, so I bought it, and I got about 60 hours of enjoyment out of it before I saw the player base just declining. I know it's shocking that it lost to Overwatch of all things, but they went for that. They tried to compete with Overwatch, which is a hugely bad idea. You don't compete against Blizzard. The timing of the release was bad. Like, releasing the game 20 days before Overwatch doesn't really help. The marketing as well, they were like comparing it to Overwatch a bit, although those two are really different games. And it made other people compare it. They were like, I rather have Overwatch than Battleborn, although Battleborn is kind of like different, so you can't. A bit of the blame is on them. The marketing was just not well done, and the game wasn't that perfect as well. It had visual design issues. There was a lot of things happening on screen at one time with all the particle effects, and all the colors are just jumbled up, so it can get a bit disorienting, and you don't know what's happening at times. And because of that, and the too many things happening on screen, sometimes you just die and don't know why. The humor also felt forced. The characters was not that interesting, and on PC the frame rate can drop pretty bad on certain maps, and I'm pretty sure they still haven't fixed that yet. So the game is not that well optimized, I think. And but it still was a fun game, and it had a lot of potential, but too bad they tried to go up against freaking Blizzard of all companies. Yeah. So the next game award, the game that I bought because of Jim fucking Sterling's son and was pleasantly surprised award, and the winner is Owlboy, a game that took 9 years to make and is one of the most beautiful games I've played in recent years. A combination of really beautiful visuals and really beautiful music. It had little subtle animations that made all the characters come to life. It was able also to capture the feeling of freedom with its flying mechanic, and the level design to advantage of your ability to fly. Its unique take on the Metroidvania Zelda style exploration with its companion mechanic and the forgiving checkpoint system made it a joy to play. It never felt like it was a bore or a slog at all. It never felt like a chore, and it's a great journey from beginning to end, and the linearity was welcome after so many open world games. I know Owlboy had its criticisms. The big one is being a $25 game and giving like about 8 hours of content. I understand that, value for money and all that, but I appreciated it because it was a short linear game with really beautiful visuals. It just felt well paced overall, and it's just, I felt tired playing all these huge games, and Owlboy came along and I just felt more relaxed playing it. So that's why I really enjoyed it. And my next honorable mentions award is the other game that I bought because of Jim fucking Sterling's son, and that is a game called Valley, a first-person action-adventure platforming type of game. And it is one of the best games that was able to capture a sense of speed, because you get this suit, and you get there are like certain sections in the game that lets you have like a burst of speed, like running down hills, or there are these sections of the game where there's like a railroad track and you just run really fast on the railroad track, and the soundtrack is also really good and it matches what you're doing on screen. So it managed to capture that sense of speed very, very well. Jim Sterling said it was like first person Sonic, and I agree, it's really good. And they also had a very interesting mechanic revolving around balancing life and death, so that was really interesting as well. The environment was really good looking as well, really beautiful environments, and I thought the game was just really good overall. It's a pretty short game, I think it's about 4-5 hours, but I really enjoyed my time with it. and I don't think it's that expensive. I think it's like a $20 game, so could be a bit pricey for the amount of hours you're gonna get, but overall I thought it was a very well made game. And yeah, I really do recommend checking out Valley, another indie game. Before my last main game award, there's one more honorable mentions award that I want to put out there. It is the game that only had one good thing going for it award, and that is Dishonored 2. I really loved the first Dishonored game. It was an amazing game. I loved it so much. The mechanics, the tower mechanics, the level design, the story, everything was really good about it. So that is why I bought Dishonored 2 at full price. I knew I wanted it. I knew I wanted to play it straight away when it came out. So I bought it. And I was kind of disappointed because the story just felt really rushed, and the people that you were tasked to assassinate in this game, in Dishonored 2, if they felt like just excuses, like they're just bags of meat. They were not fleshed out properly. There was just like the introduction scene was like 5 minutes before you need to start killing people. It felt really rushed. But the one good thing that it had going for it, and it's a really good thing, is really good level design. It's probably the best game this year that I played that is the best level design game, and I can't really recommend it at full price. I probably recommend it at least 33 to 50% off. You get about 30 hours of gameplay in one playthrough, but that's including me not knowing where to go to find the secrets, so it's probably a bit shorter than that. And you also get two characters where you can have a new game plus point. You can play as the other character. I chose Emily because I've already played Corvo, the previous game. But yeah, and the voice acting was really bad. Like, it was really lazy and just overall really bad. Although there were talented actors doing the voice acting, which I just found very weird. And of course, the PC version at launch was horribly optimized. It's much better now. They recently came out with a few patches, but there was one level in Dishonored 2 that was really good, which featured a time traveling mechanic, and it was a really damn good level. I wish they did more of that. But that level I think took me 3-4 hours maybe. So that is the one good thing, the level design and that one specific level. So yeah, Dishonored 2. I recommend it at about 50% off. And my last Game of the Year award is the one that shames most under companies, but it's probably controversial award. And the winner of that award is Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. Oh yes, an expansion is on my list of best games this year. An expansion that adds more than 25 hours of content, new skill upgrades, as well as the ability to dye your armor. If I had to choose one game out of the entire list, I would choose Witcher 3 Blood and Wine as my favorite game of 2016. It takes place in Tucson, a whole new region, and honestly, it's the best looking area in the entire game, base game included. It sports beautiful lush greenery, clear blue waters, and the gorgeous palaces and streets of the main city Beauclair. It's a delight to roam in and to just look at. They took an already beautiful looking game and made it even more beautiful, and it feels like a vacation almost. Being an expansion to The Witcher 3, expect a great story with interesting characters and writing, and it's all here. It was very compelling to play through and to keep wanting to finding out more of what's happening. And of course, a lot of side quests, so many side quests, and the different side quests from well-written characters and compelling storylines to the really light-hearted ones, including tracking down a statue's magical testicles. It gives you a break from the main quest. It also has one of the best side quests in the entire game. I won't spoil it, but it's meta as fuck. Overall, it seems like the perfect parting gift for both the players and Geralt himself, as if a thank you to Geralt for having us on his journey. And there you have it. That's my Game of the Year awards for 2016. It includes a couple of indie games, a couple of big open world games, a couple of bit more linear games, an expansion. That's probably my favorite thing that I played this year. Yeah, it was a pretty good year. I think it was better than last year, probably. One more honorable mention is I just want to mention it out. I didn't even come up with an award name for it. Pony Island is a game that came out in January. I played it in January, and it's one of those like fuck your mind type of game. It's very meta, and it involves like, just to start the game you need to go into the options menu and figure out a puzzle and stuff like that. And it's like you're playing a game made by Satan or something, and it's a really interesting game. It's really cheap. Even at full price, it's really cheap. I think on Steam sales it can go up to like 66% off, 67% off, and it's like a 2-hour game. Really cool soundtrack, very meta game. I think if you like, I think something like Undertale this game will probably be up your alley. But do check out Pony Island. And yeah, that is my Game of the Year awards for 2016. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I'll see you next year. Bye bye.